One of the things that really strikes me here, and you saw a little bit of it in the clip I showed you earlier about the fact that the guys in Bondi legally owned those guns. And yet, nobody's allowed to own guns in Australia.
Right.
And then there's a great clip of Kamala Harris talking to the PM in Australia. I got to show you this because it's just so ironic.
I know
Gun
exactly.
violence has terrorized and traumatized so many of our communities in this country. And let us be clear, it does not have to be this way, as our friends in Australia have demonstrated.
Okay. Carl, okay, first of all, by the way, this is also the woman that bragged about owning a Glock.
Which is
so
now
the
illegal.
Hypocrisy thing. The hypocrisy thing is bananas. It's bananas. But outside of that, I do want to have this conversation. I feel that, if there were if you gave me the choice, okay, nobody but like the exceptional, like the vetted cops in our military have guns. Nobody. And don't worry about the 400 million guns that are already out there in the country that you can't possibly buy back. But let's say you can. We can make them vanish. We're snapping our fingers and all the 400 million guns go away. And the 30 million guns that are out there that are illegal that we can't even track really, those go away. And just the good guys like the cops in the military have guns. Sure, I will give you all the guns in the house. Of course. And if you tell me the cops are going to show up when that guy comes in to do horrible things to myself or my family, like, you can take all my weapons. But for me personally, the issue is that bad guys have guns. And then you've got good guys that can't defend themselves. Like, if we were in Florida and those two animals began shooting, 10 dads would be locked and loaded. And what do you say to that?
This is the thing. It's like, here, this is the problem with this. First off, obviously Australia banned guns to an extent back in, I believe it was 1966. They ran them over with steamrollers on the road. And they said, this was the contract with the Australian people, was the cops will protect you. We will be a safer society. And that was the contract. And yesterday you had 4 female cops hiding behind vehicles, hands in the air, not doing anything. And you've got Ahmed over there, who's like an old guy who runs out and tackles this dude and points the gun at him. I think he didn't pull the trigger because he didn't know how, to be honest, because he probably didn't grow up in gun culture in Australia. But the other thing is like me, I'm a law-abiding gun owner. Okay. I'm deputized also, like with law enforcement credentials. All right. There are still places in Manhattan. Like yesterday, we went to our luncheon and it was in a location where I'm not allowed to carry a firearm. So I had to leave my firearm in a safe, go to a large gathering, which, by the way, was advertised as a Newsmax holiday party. I mean, like, who would target a conservative network, right? I'm defenseless, but yet bad guys aren't going to care about stuff like that. But that was the contract in Australia. If you turn in your guns, we will protect you. And it turns out now there's actually 3 times as many guns in Australia as there were before the gun ban, believe it or not. This is something that the bad guys will always get guns. And we have this beautiful Second Amendment right here that gives people like me the ability to not only defend myself against bad guys, but also against a government that doesn't want to play by the rules that they're supposed to live by. And I know people are going to gasp at that, but this is the nature of this thing.
When it comes to holiday gifting, I want to give people things that they'll love. Beautiful, timeless pieces that they'll wear for years. And that's one of the reasons I go with Quince. Everything's premium quality at a price that actually makes sense. Quince has something for everybody, whether it's silk tops and skirts for dressing up, perfectly cut denim for everyday wear, outerwear that actually keeps you warm and looks good. Their Italian wool coats, they're standout pieces. They're beautifully tailored, incredibly soft, and they're crafted to last for seasons. Every piece is made with premium materials from ethical, trusted factories, and they're priced far below what other luxury brands charge. The craftsmanship, it shows in every detail, from the stitching to the fit and the drape. It's elevated, timeless, and made to wear on repeat. I personally am obsessed with their super soft Mongolian cashmere sweaters. For only $50, they look and feel amazing. Guys, I find gifts so good, you're going to want to keep them with Quince. Go to quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian.
More than often than not, crime is stopped by a good guy with a gun. And I can go down the list of a number of shootings
Will
recently.
you please actually go down the list?
Yeah.
Go down the list so people can see this.
There was recently a mall shooting, and I believe it was Ohio, where it was stopped by concealed carrier. You have 2 church shootings now that are stopped by concealed carrier. You have roughly 50,000. They can't exactly estimate this. 50,000 acts of violence are stopped every year by lawful gun owners. And that's reported to police. I mean, like, let's say a criminal comes up and points a knife at me. I pull a gun and it's diffused. Like, a lot of those don't even get reported. But the deterrence factor, the only people who will not be armed are law-abiding citizens like me who don't want to break the law. So, it doesn't help. Like, I'm the victim of a home invasion where I had to be downstairs and confront this with my firearm. And I hate to say it, but the presence of that firearm, I didn't fire a shot, but the presence of that firearm made those guys split, the ones that weren't already fighting me.
Wow.
So, like, I'm a testament to this. You have to be able to respond with equal force. Will bad guys get it? Sure, but that's. I will say Ben Franklin came out with like the best quote on this. To remove all liberty will not remove all tragedy. And that's the fact. You can't cage an animal.
What's also really upsetting about Brown is that it's a weapons-free zone.
Gun-free.
I have taught both my kids with they can't have tasers either though. No tasers. They're not allowed to have tasers. They're not allowed to have I think maybe pepper spray. I think maybe, but no tasers for sure. No guns, no knives.
Rhode Island, you can't do anything.
Both of my kids. Okay, but yet you have no security? You have no security. It's open to the public. And these kids can't defend themselves. They're sitting ducks. Literally, I've had both of my children taught to use guns. The minute they turn 18, I will be getting them concealed carries wherever they are. I am terrified about where my daughter goes to college. And like, she will have a Byrna, like one of those pepper spray things, like a taser, forget it. And at Brown, I always thought, like, I'm going to make sure this kid, she's at jujitsu. Like, I'm going to make sure my kids have a fighting chance when I'm not there. Not to mention, like, I'm not you. I couldn't even possibly. If somebody broke into my house, I have a freaking Beretta shotgun because I'll be so scared that, I'll probably I'll hit everything in the house but him. So I literally have a 12 gauge semi-automatic Beretta shotgun. So I know that if somebody breaks in the house, I'm going to be able to hit him. And we have a whole plan. Yes. The kids know, like, they stay in their room, they go out the window. Like, we have a whole plan that I had a safety specialist arrange for me. And here I am thinking, like, I've taken every precaution, and I just find out that these kids are sitting ducks. You have no security, it's open to the public, and they have no way of defending themselves.
Right. And
what is that, Carl?
Under the promise of we will protect you. And like, the government, every time the government says they will do something for people, they have let them down. I mean, when seconds count, cops are minutes away. And
right.
I am just so frustrated and by the way, all the same people that are like gun control, they're protected by armed guards. Like, our banks are protected by armed guards. Our Congress, our government officials, our judges, everybody's protected by armed guards except for our children that are protected by a little stupid sign out front of the school that says, this is a gun-free zone. And 97% of recent shootings of more than 3 people since its inception of gun-free zones, which, by the way, was introduced by Joe Biden, have been in gun-free zones. 97% of shootings involving more than 3 victims in gun-free zones.
All right, guys, if you like this clip and you want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want more content like this, you can subscribe to the show by clicking here.